Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing today? Today we're going to be discussing the importance of networking. Now, stepping into uni can be really daunting. You go from your 700 person high school to now seeing thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of students every single day. It's daunting. However, I'm here to talk about how networking doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be this intimidating thing. So we'll start off with point number one, starting small. You don't have to go speak to everybody every single day. You don't have to be homies with every person you meet. However, you should make strides to put yourself in a new situation. Join a club. You get me? Start talking in class. Answer the teacher's questions. Ask your own questions. These things give people insight into who you are. You know what I'm saying? When you join a club, you signal to the people within that club that of all the places in the world that I could be, I want to be here with you guys. Let's talk. People are looking for you to make the first move. They're looking for you to introduce yourself. There are so many rooms where people cannot wait to meet you, but they never will if you don't step in. And another thing to keep in mind is it's not about having transactional relationships. It's not about getting a job right away. It's not about saying, hey, you do this for me, I do this for you. It's not about doing that, bro. It's about forming genuine connections with people, being actually interested in what folks do, seeing what the landscape of employment looks like, connecting with people. And then maybe in the future, they might do something nice for you, but it's not really something you have to expect. Networking is more about tapping into the community. Really, it's really about getting to know people, seeing who's around you, instead of just trying to find somebody above you in terms of income or career. You look for people that are at the same level as you. You make connections around you. It's all about connecting with people, finding out where you're similar, discussing your differences, and tapping into the community, essentially. It's planting the seeds of a relationship. And whatever that relationship grows into, we'll see. Maybe it grows into a job. Maybe it's an epiphany for something going on in your personal life. Maybe it's learning about how somebody made their money. Maybe it's learning how somebody got through a tough time in their life that you can also relate to and learn something from. It's not necessarily a transaction. It's more so planting the seeds of a relationship. And yeah, it's important to not undervalue yourself. So in a lot of rooms, your experience is enough. Being a student, being young and inexperienced, that's exactly what certain rooms need. Sometimes you're gonna find that you don't have the credentials to be in that room, but that's okay, because a lot of rooms are accommodating to even the most naive of students, bro. There are plenty of beginner classes and clubs that you can join. There are plenty of societies that love to welcome new members, and you should make use of these facilities. People are not trying to meet the fake version of you. They're not trying to meet Mr. Perfect, because that guy doesn't exist. They want to meet you. They want to hear your real questions. They want to see what your truest experience is. Like I said, bro, there's so many rooms waiting to meet you specifically. So when you're in these rooms, show up as yourself, dog. You are good enough, because the more authentic you are, the more likely it is that you will spark a real connection with someone. But if you're just playing a character and you plan to just step in, step out at your own time, yeah, people are gonna see that. People are gonna see that you're not fully here. People are gonna see that your eyes are wandering. People are gonna see that you're not as enthused as all the other people in this room. So it's important to be true to yourself and ask, where do I want to go in life? What type of people do I want around me? And am I willing to submit to their rules? Like if you join a martial arts group, bro, or you go to a run club, are you prepared to wake up every single day that these people have events? Are you prepared to go to every single training session? Are you prepared to go to the meetups? Are you prepared to show up every day? Because that can also affect how you network. People remember these things about you. They remember if you showed up on time. They remember how hard you trained. They remember when you came with your own notes and questions and you had all this insight and you were inquisitive, they remember that, bro. So just remember, millions of people submit applications every year. Millions of people graduate every year. Why should anybody care about you, bro, if you don't give them a reason to? You know what I'm saying? You have to make your presence felt. You know, you have to speak in class. You have to join the student association. You have to join the student union. You have to speak in class. You have to join clubs. You have to apply for internships. You have to make your voice known in these communities, bro. You have to. Otherwise, you'll just be another statistic, bro. Networking isn't about impressing people. It's about building trust. It's about establishing a reputation for yourself. You know, it's about being aware of who you are and what's around you. And finally, we have adding value. Make sure you add value to people. If you and somebody else have a shared skill and they're less proficient in it, give them some advice, you know, help them out. Tell them something that you wish someone had told you, you know, show people gratitude when they make efforts for you, you know, give people compliments, you know, pay attention to their stories and ask follow-up questions. Ask them how they made it through tough periods in their life, you know. It's way easier to provide value to people than you think, you know. It can be something as simple as a compliment. Hey bro, I like your style. Hey bro, you just released the album. I really like track 7. It was dope, bro. How did you do that? What was the process? What was the idea behind it? And one final tip, don't just reach out to people when you need something. You know, be willing to just have a conversation. Hey bro, do you wanna meet up for coffee? Like, just talk, just catch up. We can discuss whatever. You know what I'm saying? You don't be that guy who's only hitting people up when he needs something. Don't be that guy. You know, provide value to people for no reason, like just for the fun of it. You know, just give people something that they can hold on to and value. But ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for today. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace out.